Islebound is Red Raven Games' 2016 follow-up to Above and Below, where you take command of a ship and gather a worthy crew to help you sail through an archipelago filled with island towns full of resources, pirates, and sea monsters. Build up your seafaring nation and follow your best path to success by befriending and conquering towns to gain the most renown and win the game. To do all of this, you start by setting up the modular game board like so. This renown board is set up with event and reputation cards and renown tokens up here and crew member tiles down here. Take the stack of building cards and put 5 of them nearby with these 3 book tokens placed like so. The resources should be nearby within reach as well. Give each player a shipboard, 7 coins, a set of cubes, 3 starting crew members, and a ship matching the player's color. Put 1 cube below the 2 on the movement track. After deciding who goes first, each player in reverse turn order claims a corner home port to place their ship near and marks it with one of their cubes. Don't forget to give everyone a player aid card. It can be quite helpful. Each turn, players must sail their ship, then complete one of these actions. Also, it is worth noting that any number of free actions may also be completed in the same turn. To sail a ship, you may move up to as many regions as your movement track indicates at the time. Regions are outlined on the board with these lines here, or between the tiles like here. You must move at least 1 region, and you may not return to the region you started from. If you wish to end your move in a region occupied by another player, you must move 1 crew member with the administrate symbol below deck to show that the crew member is exhausted. You may pass through an occupied region without incident. After moving, here are the actions that you may perform. The visit action allows you to, well, visit the town where the ship just moved to, pay the entry cost, usually a coin, which is shown on the wooden sign, and place it on this treasure map on the renown board. If the sign also shows a skill symbol followed by a curved arrow, then you must exhaust a crew member with that same symbol who was on deck at the time and put them below deck. If it shows a crew member without skill, then any old crew member will suffice. What if you already control that town? Well, then you pay nothing and exhaust no crew members. What if somebody else controls that town? Then you pay your coin to that player and still exhaust the necessary crew members. Now it's time to perform the town actions. The island town actions are listed on the wooden sign. Actions are played in order, but players may choose to skip part of an action. Actions at island towns are quite varied. You can recruit pirates and sea serpents. You can gather resources such as wood, fish, or books. You can rest all of your exhausted crew members and bring them back up on deck. You can also gain influence and mark it by placing cubes on the influence track. Or you can gain renown and move your cube up the renown track. There is a helpful listing in the rulebook which details all of the actions at each town. If you don't want to visit a town, you may do one of the other actions available. The attack action gives you the opportunity to take over any town with a red banner by force. You will need pirates or sea serpents or both in your possession to make an attack. Take as many as you wish and commit them to battle. Take 1 die per attacker and roll them all together. Then decide which die you want to use for each attacker. The card indicates the attack strength of each die rolled. Pirates need a die roll of 1 or greater for an attack value of 1, and a die roll of 4 or greater for an attack value of 2. Sea serpents need at least 3 for an attack value of 2, or 5 for an attack value of 3. Are you still following me? I didn't lose you, did I? Well, okay then. Add up the total attack values from all sea serpents and pirates. Not the dice values, the attack values. And see if your attack is equal to or greater than the value on the red banner. If it is, you've conquered the town. Yeah! All attacking pirates and serpents are discarded. Then you place one of your cubes next to the banner to show that you now own that town. You get the spoils of that town in the form of coins which match the red banner value. Now if you want to, you may take the town actions, but since you own it, you don't need to pay the entry cost. How great is that? A failed attack means you didn't have enough in your attack to reach the red banner value. You can increase your attack value by injuring any crew member on deck. Put them below deck and flip them over. Each crew injured adds 1 to your attack strength. Now if you have wood resources, you may spend 1 wood per die for a reroll. If you still failed in your attack, then discard 1 pirate or serpent and collect the rest of them back to your supply. Some towns don't have a red banner, but a blue one instead. You may take over these towns using diplomacy. If you have cubes on the diplomacy track, you can see the value of each cube here. You add up the values of the cubes you wish to use, and if you have a sum equal to or greater than the value on the blue banner, you take control of the town. Return used cubes to your supply, then collect spoils equal to the value of the blue banner. Place a cube next to the blue banner to show that you own the town. Just as in the attack action, you may now visit the town and perform the actions without paying an entry cost. Finally, the action you choose may be to hunt for treasure. You see coins accumulate on this treasure map as players visit unowned towns. Hunting for treasure simply means you take all of the coins for yourself.
Nice.
If the map is empty, well, just take 1 coin from the bank. Now there are 2 free actions available to you. You may buy a building from one of the 5 face-up buildings for sale. This blue banner shows how much it costs to purchase. If you wish to buy a building from the left side, you will need to have in your possession either 1, 2, or 3 books. You don't use the book as payment. You just have to show that you have a book. Each building has an ability that applies throughout the game. Another free action you can do is complete 1 or more of the active events. Up here on the renown board, the 2 active events are showing, and the locations of those events are marked with these 2 event markers. Players can travel to the island where the event takes place and must pay something or fulfill a requirement in order to complete the event. The reward for doing so allows you to place cubes up on the influence track, placing them from left to right. Afterwards, discard the event card and take a look at where the next event happens. Then the event marker moves to the new town. Each turn, those are the actions available to you. Figuring out how to put those actions to good use and in the proper order so that you can find your path to victory is the challenge to Islebound. It is a very interesting puzzle to work out. Let's visit some islands and see what there is to do there. Visit the grotto and receive 4 fish, plus 1 extra fish per crew member on deck with the work symbol, this hand. Visit Sun's Rest and get 1 sea serpent for each crew member you have on deck by paying 2 fish per serpent. Visit Rat Nest and gain 2 pirates, plus 1 wood per crew member on deck with this work symbol. Visit Morlem and hire a new crew member from the available supply. These 2 cost you 1 coin each, but this one is free. Then resupply from the stack and move all crew tiles to the right. Crew members can increase your ship speed, add diplomacy value or combat strength, and more. Visit Stratic and you may build one of the available buildings using wood and or fish instead of paying coins. Visit Farwold and choose to activate one of the 2 reputation cards from the renown board. Move your cube the number of spaces equal to the number of blue banners. Then all players gain renown according to the conditions in the bottom portion of the card. Conditions can be based on the number of buildings you have, or the number of crew on deck, or towns that you control. Things like that. This renown track is really the key to the game. As you move your cube up the track to the 7th spot, you can get the renown token on top. This marks the 7 renown that you've just gained and also gives you another reward immediately. When you gain more renown, you start at the beginning of the renown track again and move up once more. Renown is the victory points of this game, if you haven't deduced that already, so it's kind of important. The game ends when 8 buildings have been built by 1 player in a 2 to 3 player game, or 7 buildings in a 4 player game. Finish out the current round, take 1 last round afterwards, then start counting up your renown. Every coin you still have is worth 1 renown. Each building you have is worth the renown shown here. Some buildings give extra renown at game end. Renown tokens are worth 7. And finally, your current position on the renown track is added. The most renown wins the game. Ties are broken by having the most fish and wood. This game is very puzzly, interesting, and fun. There are many different ways to negotiate the islands to make it work to your advantage, and that is the challenge. It is set in the same world as Above and Below, but it is a very different game indeed. The backside of each crew character can be used to play an expansion in Above and Below. I think that's a really great way to tie these 2 games together in the same world. Ryan Laukat's art is exceptional.
It's pronounced Laukat.
Like I said, Ryan Laukat's art is exceptional, and the Red Raven quality shines in every part of this game. Give it a try, and you too may become Islebound.